I am what you see. I am certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress.
The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for the lack of a better word. Even considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness's life, his behavior is still a little too unnatural.
However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs. I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick? You know I did. Maya. I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot. For the same reason, huh? Okay, Trite. I'm all ears. Let's hear it. It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you.
What's this?
There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together inextricably, very easily. Her name be Mia. Her name be Mia. Uh-huh. There's a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Fey's only sister. Boom, boom, boom. Mia Fey. You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney.
Wait a second here. Mr. Godot is a defense attorney?
Oh, shit. With your honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot. His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right? The last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago.
Diego Armando. That name rings a bell.
It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Indeed. Mia Fey's first time in court, the tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense lawyer at the office where Mia worked. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Mia, you can't cry yet. Crushed it. Crushed it. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. No. I wanted to do that accent ever since I found out that was him, man. Oh well. I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her clients. That pure, sweet heart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Me and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. Then one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria.
Oh, I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned.
Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee.
Some newspapers at the time called it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press.
But you weren't dead at all. No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma. I see. My body shut down, and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all of my hair turned white due to the damage it caused. That's terrible. Apparently, it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison brew. Then one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of the doctor's cup of coffee.
5 years? You were asleep for 5 years?
And the worst possible news was waiting for me. Mia Fey was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered, and the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death.
The woman you loathed?
The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. Yep. Huh. Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up. That's so sad. For some reason, or for someone like me, for someone who had slept away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live, and it was for those 2 reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor. If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live? The first was you, trite. Huh? Me? If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey never would have died, much less the way she did. You were the only one who was there to protect her, but you let her die. It was all your fault. Bitch, it wasn't like that. I wanted to see for myself what kind of man you really were.
So that's why you became a prosecutor.
My other reason for living, she goes by the name of Mia Fey. Huh? You mean me? You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when the Crane Village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her. That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center. I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it. That makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out. I guess so. Finally, the day the plan was drawing near, I contacted both of my accomplices.
Accomplices?
Iris of Hazakura Temple and Misty Fey. Whoa. They were all protected. Whoa. Okay. I mean, it makes sense. The plan went down the way it did because Godot. It all makes sense. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Fey. But how did you contact my mother? She had been missing for almost 20 years. Officially, yes. What do you mean officially? You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government? Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the Master of the Crane had great authority. Even without her official position, Misty Fey still wielded great influence. The police have been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor. So my mother was cooperating with you? Don't ever forget, no matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you. She was always... That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was, look at her staff.
Her staff? The one with the sword in it?
The day the plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hazakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fey, if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price. Mother! This is getting real, man. That night, the night of the crime, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan. You mean Pearls? Don't you? We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne. Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight? Well, if you'd like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. Indeed, perhaps. We thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan, but she never showed up. She was worried and followed me to the inner temple. That was the thing we were most afraid of, and that's why Misty Fey had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body.
What? What do you mean?
If she channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself. Indeed. As Master of Karain, Misty Fey's power was supreme. So that's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Fay wouldn't be able to. What? Yeah, okay. I mean, this is all... Basically, we're just filling in any little blanks you may have had.
What? Is this true?
My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Fey. That's why I hid myself at the Inner Temple, just in case you needed to be saved from Dahlia Hawthorne. Godot. Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to, trite. Huh? There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense lawyer, but you're gonna have to do the rest yourself. God damn it. Okay, I needed some water after all that Godot. Okay.
The background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects right now. Maya Fey, and I'm sad to say, you, Mr. Godot.
Well, Trite, if you're the real deal, then finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own. No, Nick, please don't. Maya, I heard the whole thing from my sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godot. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who puts his life on the line to protect Mia, and me too. Maya, I know that. Nick. But even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. Testify!
Ms. Fey, your testimony, please.
This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips. I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick. Alright, here we go.
All right, young lady, tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder?
Here we go, baby. Here we go. Alright, just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights, 3 of them. Oh, Godot. I thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights went out, and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness. Wait, what? Huh?
These red lights? I thought you said you don't remember seeing them.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw them, but then they disappeared all of a sudden. Huh. Things break, Trite. Even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Fey? It looks like you still can't prove it. Maya's telling the truth this time, I know it. The rest is up to me. Alright.
Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness.
Alright, we gotta find something in there that doesn't jive with some of the shit we already know. So let's just start pressing everything and get some more detail. Here we go. Lights shining in the dark. I don't think you could make a mistake about that. Yeah, you're right. I think I saw them, but I can't say for certain. I can't tell you for sure they were from Mr. Godot's mask either. I don't get the feeling she's covering for him anymore, but press harder. But just after that, you turned toward the lights and called for help. Isn't that because you thought the lights were coming from Mr. Godot's mask? Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what I was thinking at the time. But I can't remember after all. There was a person I couldn't identify in front of me. Maya's life was in terrible danger at the time. There's no way she can remember the details of the scene perfectly.
All right then, let's go on with the testimony. What did you do when you saw the red lights?
She called for, Roxanne, you don't gotta point out those red lights. Roxanne. That blood, was it Dahlia Hawthorne's blood? I think so, probably, just at that moment. I heard a soft scream that seemed to be close by. It was a woman's voice.
So that was when the killer stabbed the victim from behind with the murder weapon. Is that right?
Without a doubt, Maya was in the middle of a really dangerous situation. Anyway, the victim was stabbed by the murder weapon. What happened after that? She wasn't dead, though. Okay. Struck back. How do you know that? Well,
You're right, I didn't see it exactly, but I could tell by the sound of their breathing and movement. And also the smell of blood.
You have witnessed more horror than any young lady should ever have in one life. So then, what did you do at that point?
I couldn't move. I could just barely make out their shadows moving in the dark, but I had no idea what to do.
Could you still see the red lights you mentioned earlier?
Yes, I think so, but...
Then they went out. Okay. They went out?
Yes, suddenly I couldn't see them at all.
What could it mean?
If the red lights were coming from Godot's mask, and they went out right in the middle of the fight, maybe the mask was damaged? Or maybe it was knocked off. Or maybe the batteries ran out, right?
Or maybe those little red pinhead-looking lights just stopped working.
What could have really happened then? Interesting question that I'm not entirely sure I know the answer to. What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out?
Yes, that's right.
The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice.
What?
Does Godot have a stab wound that we don't know about?
So then that scream came from the killer?
That's gotta be it.
I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it.
And then the killer let out a scream of
Pain, huh?
After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess.
No, we had the knife. What about the knife?
Well, Mr. Wright, it seems to make sense to me.
Sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still kind of wonder. There is a contradiction. It's the knife. I'm sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction.
That makes sense. After all, many deductions are almost certainly never correct.
Remember the testimony she just gave. Before the killer let out a scream, Maya said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim.
Ah, is that right?
She couldn't have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. Got it. It was the knife. Alright, we got it. If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, trite. There's only one thing I can think of that could have been used as a weapon here. If Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff, what could she have used to strike back at the killer? She said she had the knife. She fucking straight up said she had the knife.
Take that!
And if the blood ends up being your blood, Godot, it's game over. Naturally, the dagger that the killer brought to the scene of the crime.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
This dagger was found at the crime scene, stuck into a pine tree. Yes, the detective found that this morning and brought it to me. Oh my god, I bet you he didn't see the blood on there either. Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well. Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim. Okay, so he sees the blood, never mind. Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must have been the killer's blood. The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body.
So you're saying the blood on this dagger belongs to the killer?
Exactly. Oh, that was my half-assed Godot voice. Exactly. A DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godot, it would prove that it's your blood. Nice theory, trite. Better keep drinking that coffee, bro. When you go to jail, you ain't gonna be able to drink anymore.
Order in the court.
Is this the end? Have I done it? Even he won't be able to change the results of a scientific test. Let me ask you something, trite. Let's just say that it turned out that I was the killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that? What? Just think for a second. This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me. There was already a bloodstain on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom.
Yes, what does that prove?
Well, if I really were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and then planted another person's blood on it. It can't be. In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, Trite. That blood, it doesn't belong to me. Not a chance. What? Okay, if that blood's not yours, then who the fuck's is it, man?
In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. Alright then, witness, continue your testimony.
Wait, what? Wait a minute.
What's the problem?
I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation.
Wait, what? Maya?
What? This dagger. You said that it wounded the killer.
That's right.
But, if Mr. Godot had really been cut with the dagger, his clothes should be bloody or have a rip in them, right?
Maya? Maybe he just changed his clothes? That solved the contradiction pretty easily.
What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Remember back to the day of the murder? Everyone that was on the Inner Temple side got trapped there.
True. True. She makes a good point. She also makes another good point.
Ah, that's right. And once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the Inner Temple, Mr. Godot was already there waiting for them.
He had never had a chance to change his clothes.
Oh my god, that is true. There's no denying that. Then who the fuck got stabbed with the knife, man? I'm confused. Okay. Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him.
But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes?
Yeah. Did the judge take smart pills during the last recess? Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder. That way he couldn't get any blood on them. Oh my god. That's impossible, Trite. You know how cold it gets up there late at night. After a few minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid. God damn it. We're getting close, man. So that's all you've got. I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this. Right now, if Mia Fey were here, she would have closed the book on this case already. If Mia Fey were here. So come on, Trite. Can you do it or not?
How about it, Mr. Wright? You've accused Mr. Godot of being the killer. But can you prove it? Have you gotten even one piece of evidence?
Shit, do I? The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. The fact is I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer. I'm about to save it. I feel like we're about to have a decision where if we get it wrong, we're going to fail immediately. I can prove it. And I'm going to save it before I try to prove it, because if I don't, I'm going to have to go through a lot of shit to get back here. Alright, here we go. I can prove it. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you wanted. Oh. Oh. Oh, this music. This is my favorite music in the game, by the way. I fucking love it. In fact, I'm pretty sure we haven't heard this music for the whole game. This is from the first Phoenix Wright game. I love the song. Anyway. That's good. A bitter fight till the bitter end, Trite. Oh, did it say bitter fight? It just said a fighter till the bitter end. I read that hella wrong. Anyway, since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point. Oh, why don't we go for the unlimited penalty? How did I know it was going to be all or nothing? I fucking knew it. I'm so glad I saved it. Alright, are you trying to pressure me, Godot? Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need. Give me a break. You got nothing, Trite. So what do I do at a time like this? It's simple. I've got to think outside the box and approach this from a different angle.
Alright then, Mr. Wright, let's hear what you've got.
There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross-examination. The killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger.
But we decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he had been cut by a dagger, there should have been a bloodstain on his clothing.
There's one place... Oh, shit. I got it already. There's one place the killer could have hidden his wound. I already know. It's behind the mask.
What did you say?
Hidden? Oh, here it comes, bitch. Here it comes. This is it. My last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. Remember, Maya said the lights went out for a minute and we couldn't figure out why. I got the answer. I don't need to think about why there was no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid his wound. I already got it. It's the end of the line. The final stop, Triton. Let's hear what you've got. Where's this location? Where would you... Wait. Where are you... Where's the location where you say the killer hid his wound? How do I say that? Do I just say his face? Because I don't have his mask in the fucking... I don't have his mask in my thing. So, do I just present his face? If I lose because I present his face, I'm going to be upset. But I don't have anything else to present that says anything about his mask. I think it's behind his mask. And if I'm wrong, then I got to think of it from another angle, as he said. So let's try it. If I'm wrong, then I'll think of another thing. Let's try it. Did I get it? Ha! I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't need to know. What I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Isn't that right, trite? Whoa, the hell? What was that just now? Mia? It can't be. You're living on through him? Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. Damn! It's beneath your mask! Okay, cool, I presented the right thing. I was worried for a second there. Nice. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. Mr. Godot, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, then I'd say this whole case is solved. Yes. Alright. Oh, shit. What the fuck? Did he just get shot in the face? The hell just happened? That was crazy. The hell just happened? Okay. That was, I guess that was his, like, crazy reaction when he gets caught. As most of the killers get. Just now, I saw her spirit in you. I never liked you. 6 years ago, you helped the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. And then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die. But you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. I could never forgive you. That's what I thought. Mr. Godot. But I was wrong about you. I knew it from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person I could never find it in my heart to forgive was me.
You yourself?
I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Me and no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth, to escape from the harshness of reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. I hid behind a mask. I threw away my true name. I couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore, so I quit. But you saved Maya. Yeah, that was my plan. Up until just now, anyway. What do you mean? Are you listening, Maya? If I had really wanted to save you, then there's one person that I should have gone and talked to right away. What? Who would that be? Are you talking about Nick? But I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother, but I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. Do you know why? The real reason? No, why? I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all. Huh? I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia, nothing more. That's why I let you walk right into a situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me.
You're wrong! You put your life on the line to save Maya.
Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure.
What do you mean by that?
That night, in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette.
Oh shit, I was wondering if we were actually going to get this shot.
A part of me must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing there in front of me. It could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl. But I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else?
Yeah, it was a demon bitch.
Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could it have been simply a desire for revenge?
Could be, could be.
And now, I don't know anything anymore.
Is he gonna cry? Is he gonna cry?
I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. The stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off, as a true defender of the people.
Damn right, baby. You damn right.
In that one moment, I understood everything.
Man, this is heavy.
Mr. Godot. I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando.
Mr. Armando, I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me.
Oh shit. What? Thanks. Your wound, it's bleeding. Huh. Did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears.
Tears? Tears?
Ever since I woke up from my coma, I think I've been waiting for this very moment.
Mr. Armando!
You do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over.
Well, alrighty then, man. Whoo, boy! Son of a bitch. This is crazy, man. Crazy.
This time, it really is all over, isn't it? Defendant?
Yes, Your Honor?
Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body in the crime scene is a serious offense in itself.
I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. I knew the risk and I willingly cooperated anyway.
Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, there is one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright. She did want to say something to me, so what you got? What you got? I want to apologize to you. Apologize? To me? For what? For the case 5 years ago, of course. Oh. Wait, why? Were you... Oh, don't you dare tell me you were involved in that too! What?
I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover?
Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 5 years later, I can hardly believe it. She was gonna do it. She's planning to kill me. Yeah, damn right she was, that demon bitch. It's not all that surprising. The two of you hardly knew each other. Huh? What do you mean? Oh! 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 Remember the part where he was like, man, Dahlia never seemed like that at all, because he was actually hanging out with Iris the whole time. Holy shit. He did bring that up earlier, and now it's coming back to me. Okay. That's what she's gonna admit. Okay. You and my sister, you only met twice. Uh-huh. Huh? What? We only met twice? The first time you met was on that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. The next time you met her was 8 months later. You met her again on the day that she stole your cold medicine. And Doug Swallow was killed. No way! It can't be true! I mean, during our whole relationship, we were... For those 8 months, the woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister. Huh? It wasn't Dahlia? I hope one day you can forgive me, Feeny. Oh, man. You mean... That's right. I lied to you. For 8 months. Damn.
But why? Why would you do such a thing?
Ever since she gave you the bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation and their surveillance, she couldn't move about freely. So that's why you... My sister, from the beginning, she was prepared for the worst. Prepared for the worst? She thought that you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice. You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you? She already had so much to answer for, but I didn't want any more sins on her soul. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance. And that's why you came to me? You came to get the bottle pendant back from me in her place? But I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something even as simple as that. 8 months passed, and I still couldn't get it back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that had ever happened. That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime, and she would confer with you. I think she must have noticed. Noticed what? My feelings for you. If I had found out she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her. Whoa! Hello. Even if it meant her life. Or mine. Whoa. Iris would have died for Phoenix? What? Iris? After spending those 8 months by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed. Oh my god. I have something to say to you too. Yes? You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you. Indeed. Thank you. I still believed in you because you believed in this other girl. I mean, now it all kind of makes sense, though. How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even I don't know. I'll tell you, though. Right now, this one here is the greatest cup I think I've ever had. Don't you think so? Phoenix Wright. He said my name! I was wondering if he was ever going to say Phoenix's actual name. Took him long enough, asshole. Oh, shit! Toast to you, sir. Toast to you. Yeah, I think you're right.
The purpose of this trial was to rule on the murder of the victim Elise Dolan. At some point, I expect you will be tried for your role as an accomplice in this case.
I understand, Your Honor.
Very well. On the charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant not guilty. Victorious. Court is now adjourned.
Celebration. Good times. Alright, dude. Whoo! Okay. Man. In the lobby again. So I guess it's all over. The way everything ended, was justice really served? The man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by my own hand. Of course justice was served. Oh shit. That was Mia, not Maya. Mia? I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant. But I couldn't save Mr. Armando, the man who cared so deeply for you. You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible. You mean, with that verdict? I think one day you'll understand, too. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You were as good out there today as any defense lawyer could have ever hoped to be. There's nothing more you can learn from me. But Mia... You've accomplished something I wasn't You've accomplished something I wasn't able to. I owe you a great deal. Thank you.
Mia?
I'm sure we'll meet again someday, Phoenix.
Come back! I've handled lots of cases and seen a lot of things, and along this journey, I've found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer.
Nick!
Maya?
I guess it's just like my sis said.
Your sister? Mia?
That night when I channeled Mia to get her advice on what to do. This is what she wrote back in my notebook. Don't worry, Phoenix will save everyone in the end.
What? She wrote that? Are you serious?
Nice.
But...
Come on, cut it out with that gloomy face. Can't you see? Me, sis, and I'm sure Iris too. We owe you for everything you have done for us, Nick.
Maya, how can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened? You were brutally attacked. You even saw your mother murdered. Ouch! Oh God, what the fuck are you doing here? Franziska?
Still as softy as always, Phoenix Wright.
Oh God, he's here too. Excellent work, Wright.
Huh? Mr. Edgeworth? When did you get back?
Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that. Edgeworth and Franziska have actually been helping me.
Helping you?
Yeah, a little bit. If these two hadn't been there on the first day of the trial, there would have been no trial. The defense wouldn't have gotten anywhere.
Wow! But where were you, Nick? I heard he fell into a river and caught a nasty cold which forced him to sleep all day.
Yes, he laid in bed shivering from his fever with Iris's hood pulled over his head.
Oh, ouch. Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more training. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. And you too. Franziska?
I don't suppose... Oh, God damn it, Larry. What are you doing here, dude?
There's room for one more in this group hug, is there? Oh, Larry!
What's with the longer than usual face?
I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never of any use to anyone, not even once.
That's not true, right, Nick? What? You're asking me?
Well, Nick, is it true? I've got a place in this world, right?
Yeah, of course. Totally.
I knew it! Everyone would be better off without her gone for good, man!
No, dude, oh yeah. Those portraits you painted, they were, really good. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? What? Me?
Why are you making that face, huh, Edgy?
Oh, well, yes, indeed. I certainly can't say that it's lacking resemblance.
Do you really mean it? What about you, Francie? Did I draw you well, too? What?
My beauty can't possibly be captured by a mere crayon.
Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and that's worth something.
So then you'll do it, like you promised? You're gonna model for my next picture book, Francie's Whiplash.
Don't get carried away.
Okay, then.
Well, how about that? I guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. Painting a pearl was pretty darn good, too, if you ask me. Huh?
Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around. Pearls. Where could she have gone? Normally she would have made a beeline for Maya. Oh, I'll go look for her. Be right back. What the... What? Hey, Pearly! Right. You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. I suspect you are wondering how Maya can be so cheerful despite all that has happened. Yeah.
To be honest, I can't understand it either.
Franziska. That's right. She lost her father fairly recently as well. I think I understand how she feels. Maya is a much wiser person than she appears, and I think she realizes something. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can.
What do you mean by now is exactly the time?
Maya wasn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone that was hurt far more deeply than she. I believe it's for that person that Maya is trying her best not to cry. Someone who was hurt more deeply than Maya? Edgeworth, I think I'm starting to understand too.
Ow! Then tell me, Phoenix Wright, who is Maya being strong for?
Dude,
the little girl. Who else would she be strong for? Duh. Duh. Where's she at? Duh. Little girl, dude. Pearl Faye. The poor kid. After all, the reason that she worked so hard to follow the instructions was because she loved and believed in her mother, Morgan. It's for the good of the Faye clan. I'm sure she believed it in every last word. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. It shows how truly devoted she is to Maya. Indeed. But it's a cruel irony that it was her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Maya Faye's mother was killed, and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable. And that's exactly why Maya is putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearls as a stake, until she can see her smile again. Oh, God. Oh, hey! Is this where you all were, pal? Wow, looks like we got quite a bunch here. Ah! What was that for, sir?
Sorry about that, Scruffy. My whip just seems to have a mind of its own.
What's up, Detective Gumshoe? Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win. Let's go out tonight, pal. Dinner's on me. My salary's just sort of kind of gone down by a teeny-weeny bit, but that's all right. I made reservations at a first-class French restaurant tonight. Ah.
Pretty good work, Scruffy. That whip was your reward.
Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. You said a first-class French restaurant. Oh, no, he did say French restaurant, didn't he? Son of a bitch. Très bien, where else? I knew it. We're doomed. Come on, let's go, everyone. Can't keep Maggie waiting, pal. Hey, you, crybaby, you're invited too. Forget about me. Pearl and I will be at the loser shack eating potatoes. You know, Maya is taking an awfully long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls. Wait, what? Oh, Maya, what's wrong?
Nick, what do I do? Pearlie, I can't find her anywhere.
Huh? I'll bet she just went back home, that's all.
I thought so too, so I called the village. But no one has heard from her. This has never happened before.
As I figured, she has been badly hurt by this incident. She feels responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya.
But none of this was her fault. What should I do?
Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, what is it, pal? Could you guys go on ahead? But what about you? Maya and I will join you guys once we find pearls.
Nick!
Don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. We may be a little late, but we'll definitely be there. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. Yeah, but you're the...
Very well, Phoenix Wright. We'll go on ahead.
Don't keep us waiting, Wright. We won't.
But where should we look? Where could Pearlie have gone?
Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I can think of that pearls might have gone to. I'm hoping it takes me there and I don't have to choose. All the way to Hazakura Temple? What the hell?
Hazakura Temple?
For pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started.
What's this? You're all back again so soon?
Sister Bikini?
I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight.
So she's here. Pearlie's here.
She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her?
Okay. Pearlie's not here.
Ah, Maya, the hanging scroll. Oh, she cleaned it off. Nice. Someone cleaned it off. It's gotta be pearls.
Ah! Mystic Maya!
Pearlie? Why did you just leave like that?
Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya!
Oh my god. I don't want to do this voice anymore.
I swore that I would never trouble the two of you ever again. Because it's all my fault that Mystic Maya's mother...
That's why you came here?
It's the least I could do to pray for your happiness.
You don't have to do that, Pearlie. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course I'm sad that my mother is gone, but how do I say this? I'm still happy.
You don't have to lie just to make me feel better.
No, really. It's true. The only reason I'm still here at all is thanks to everyone who was there for me. my sis, my mother, Mr. Armando, Nick, and you. If even one of you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now. That's why I have to be strong, for all the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do.
Mystic Maya?
I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Mystic Misty.
Oh God, where'd you come from? Sister Bikini?
Your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you that what she said to me that night.
After dishonoring the good name of Karain, I don't have the right to face my daughter. But still, Maya is always in my thoughts. It's true. She'll always be with me until the day I die. Alright, well isn't that just nice?
Your spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets.
She'll always be with me until the day I die, huh? There's a rule or something all masters are to follow, isn't there? To never take the charm off until the day you die?
That's the Master's talisman.
The thing that Misty kept by her heart and would never take off. It wasn't the container that was important. Rather, it was the contents. Oh, snaps.
That's...
Oh, snaps.
A photo?
Ah! Mother? Oh, snap. Oh, snap. It's only natural for living creatures to fight to protect their own lives. But what makes us human is that we fight for others. But who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's the true measure of what human life is worth. We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly challenged by that question. Oh, snap. Look who else broke the goddamn thing. Are you serious? Are you serious? Maya and Mia broke the goddamn fucking thing way, way, way back in the day. Wow. That's hilarious. Anyway, even when the battle is over and the bonds that connect us are severed, we always return, time and time again. Mia, Maya, Pearls, Mr. Armando, and Maya's mother, too. I learned that from all of them. Awesome. Well, shall we get going? Everyone is waiting.
Ah!
This is a day to remember, a day when a lot of things were finally put to rest. I think we should celebrate what we've overcome today.
But I still can't.
Oh, go on, sweetie. You can come back for training anytime.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training. I promise.
I know, and I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. I'll make sure people to prepare reservations for 3 when you come back.
All right, we're gonna have a great feast today, Pearly. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance.
Okay, Mystic Maya. I'll eat lots and lots of food tonight.
You know, there's one thing I don't get, and probably don't want to, but... What is it, Nick? Reservations for training is fine and all, but why for 3? Come on, what do you think? You're one of us, Nick. Next time you can train right alongside us. Huh?
I'll be waiting for you. Sister Bikini will take special care of you.
Huh? Huh? It'll be great, Nick. We're gonna do the special course naturally. Huh?
That's a great idea. After all, Mr. Nick, you'd do anything for Mystic Maya, wouldn't you? Even walk on hot coals, right?
We'll have a nice big meal before we come next time, right, Nick? You know, I was wondering if I can say just one little thing. Sure, of course you can. Oh, I love this part.
I can't wait to hear it.
I'm getting goosebumps too.
Well then, here goes nothing. Yeah! Haha! He did that like at the end of every game. Dude, I am overwhelmed right now with what I just went through, and I just can't right now. Anyway,
I'll really have to work extra hard now, master the crane technique, and
I don't want to read all this, and I have to be good big sister to Pearly and Nick too. Well, as long as I'm not locked up or captured or something like that. 'Cause we've already had to deal with that shit. This game, man. For a game that just tells you a story and you barely do anything other than just like point things out based on what you've discovered about the story, this shit is done like crazy things to my brain that very few games do. It's so freaking good, man. So freaking good. Like I was reading that, but I didn't read it out loud. Obviously, Pearls was talking about them making a secret reservation. I guess I'll just read the rest of this dialogue since we're gonna get through it, but I'll talk more in a minute. Maggie bought me a brand new coat as a present, pal. I feel 10 years younger. I'll never take it off. Yes, but somehow you don't seem the same. I guess a dirty, shabby old overcoat is just more detective-like, sir. Don't worry about it. In the name of love, a man will soil himself. I mean, who hasn't been there? Soiling themselves silly over love. Who hasn't been there? Oh, hey, Adrian. Mr. Wright, I am once again in your debt. Thanks to you, the Treasures of Crane exhibit was a great success. I even got to see Ms. Von Karma, who I hadn't seen for almost a year. She taught me how to use a whip and said that I must show you what I've learned. What? Sexy? Unless, I mean, that's actually heavily implying some stuff between Adrian and Franziska. Holy shit. Anyway, Desi and I started a company called Mask to Mask. We're dedicated to stopping the evil plans of all the criminals in the city. Our motto is, cut it out, please! Well, we also sell plans to criminals as a kind of side business. I wonder if that's okay. Sometimes I think maybe we're the worst criminals. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Can't forget about case 2, of course. Alright, and then of course there's this crazy girl. I wanted to show my appreciation to Mr. Wright for exterminating Don Tigre. So I lent him $500,000 and a tea set, special thick tea, one I mixed with my own 2 hands. I bet he's drinking it now. Win through compromise. He. That's fucked up. That girl's nuts. That girl's insane. With her brain trauma, she's probably gonna go off and murder tons of people in the future. And there's this fucking guy. I'm just old and in the way, wrinkly, grumpy old clown nose boy, but at least that's what I thought. But my grandkids had a birthday party for me the other day. Talk about embarrassing, 69 years old and I cried like a baby with a dirty diaper. Oh, that fucking guy. That fucking guy. He's only 69. He looks older than that. Big ass red nose. Oh, this fucking robot chick. Forgot about her. We've hired a new programmer to replace Glenn Elg. I do hope everyone will get along. His name is Adamada. Wow. I knew our brain circuits would line perfectly because his name is also a palindrome. Adamada. Adamada. Adamada? Adamada. Oh yeah, of course there's you. My, Mr. Hodges, blah, blah, blah. Since we're murder, we've made so much money, I hardly know what to do. I think the magazines like us because I provide such a nice visual. Yeah. Can only wait for Iris to come back. Ho, 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 ho. How many more people we got left? Not many, right? I think that might be it, right? Or, I don't know. Do I need to talk about other things for a minute? Oh no, we still got Iris. You've turned into such a respectable man, Feeny. It was so sweet of you and everyone else to come and visit me here the other day. Of course, I was happy that you constantly had your eyes on me, but I felt kind of bad when the little one slapped you so hard you got a nosebleed. Slapped you so hard you got a nosebleed? Yeah, I got a nosebleed? Objection! Objection! Phoenix Wright was Ben Grauman Judd. We actually have voice actors? I guess technically we do, right? Objection! Objection! Miles Edgeworth was Sean King. Sean King. Sean King. Objection! Mia's voice was Christina Catano. What would Christina Catano do if she were here right now? I think she'd kick an ass or two. That's what Christina Catano would do. Of course, it's this fucking guy. James C. Wilson. Objection!
Objection!
Of course, don't forget about Franziska's sexy ass by Janet C. Objection! Can't forget about that crazy mofo. David Crislip. Anybody else? Nobody else, huh? Okay. Oh, fuck. Not this lady. Oh, God. I'm back from a long and tiring vacation, and no one is here to greet me? Guess while I was gone, my little whippersnapper buddy quit, and now I've got to go. Got no one. And what kind of a lonely, crazy security room is this supposed to be with all the flashing lights and switches, like some sort of space alien? And now what am I going to do with all these macadamia nuts I brought? If I bring them over to Edgy Poo, I really can't accept these, I'm afraid. Oh, when I... Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-a-tat-tat-tat. Hey! From the last game. Still wearing that damn outfit from the last game. Hey, Larry! Finally found something I love to do, bruh. Fancy's whiplash slash. Gonna turn the art world on its head, bruh. I should have realized it sooner. Self-centered, lazy, antisocial. I'm an artist, bro. A really good portrait artist. I'm not a loser after all, bro. Not gonna lie, your bridge picture was pretty good. It was just upside down. But it was pretty good. Oh, and of course Shinji Mikami, which everybody loves. There it is, guys. The picture. Draw that picture. Draw that picture. Drawn by Larry, I assume. Oh, yeah. Go Dot, Mia, and Elise. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Is that it, guys? Is that it? Credits over? Man. I think that's it, guys. I think we have done it. That's all she wrote. Phoenix Wright. Trials and Tribulations, Ace Attorney, whatever. It's right there. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations is done. Wow. What a game. What a game. Whoo. Man. Oh, man. So good. So good. So good. Okay, well, that concludes our trilogy of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney games. Now, I know I didn't do the full playthrough of the first game because I have already done and played it before, and now I've played it again because I did my abridged series and actually played the whole game again to do that abridged series. So technically, I did all three on the channel if you watch my abridged series, although I never did finish that case 4. I'm sorry about that if you care. But anyway, point is, I have now completed my journey through the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney games of the original Game Boy Advance trilogy. Now, I am aware that there are more Phoenix Wright games, or at least Ace Attorney games, that exist. But I'll just flat out tell you right now, I have zero plans to do any of them on my channel. As much as I enjoyed this game thoroughly, I just have so many other games and series I want to do that to take all of my time to just do Ace Attorney games. And plus, to do the other Ace Attorney games, I'd have to do some extra setup stuff because I did all these games on my Nintendo Wii, right? And that's easy to record. I can record a console, no problem. But all the other Ace Attorney games are on the DS, 3DS. So I'm like kind of at a disadvantage on being able to record them easily. I'd have to make a custom 3DS to record them. And that is not a cheap thing to do. Not that I can't afford it. I feel like if I do that, I don't want to convert a 3DS I already have. I want to buy a new 3DS to do it to. Anyway, the point is, this is likely the last of the Ace Attorney series that I do on this channel. Now, that might sound sad to some people, but that does not necessarily mean it's the end of me doing visual novel style games like this. i.e. 999 and or Danganronpa. 2 games that have been highly requested of me for a long time, even before I did this series. And I'm sure even after this, now that I've even said those 2 names out loud, you guys are probably just wetting yourselves wanting me to do it now. Now, neither of those is in my current plans to come up anytime soon, but they're definitely on my list of games I would like to get to eventually. So, while I will not promise I will do them anytime soon, I will say that they are on my list and I do want to play them. As soon as I find a good way to do 999, I would like to do that one first, because Danganronpa actually has multiple games, so if we start one, I might have to do more. The point is, this won't be the end of the visual novel style games, which means it won't be the end of me doing ridiculous voices, I'm sure, even though I do it for other games too. But these games have been me going all out for the most part. I don't know. I got nothing left, dude. That's all I got to put on the table. In terms of new Let's Plays, I got stuff already planned. In fact, you probably already saw that my Wiimote shut off. You probably already saw that I started Resident Evil Darkside Chronicles, and that was the plan to follow this game up actually originally. But I wanted that to be a daily Let's Play, so I went ahead and started it already. And thus, I will start something else to replace this in this time slot where we alternate with Persona. So yes, there will be another Let's Play. It may not be something quite as story heavy as this, but I'm not entirely sure. I haven't actually decided on, at this moment, as of this recording, what I'm doing after this. But when I do decide, you shall see, and it will probably, like I said, alternate with Persona, as this did for the most part, other than some exception days and missed days and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to shut up now. I hope you guys enjoyed this series, because I really, really enjoyed it. It was really good. You could probably tell by how much I enjoyed it and how long these last few episodes were. I had to, man. I couldn't stop. I just kept playing because I wanted to see the end. And now we're here. And there will be an Ace Attorney-sized hole in my heart for a while until I fill it with something else. So I bid you guys farewell, and I'll see you guys on something else maybe, if you enjoy anything else that I do. So I'll see you guys then and there, and thus we say peace.